Hi everyone, it's Mike, the PrepperNerd, and I'm here with another video on the prep inventory system. As always, it's just such a privilege to offer the system to such an amazing community of like-minded people, people that are awake to the idea that it's important that we all build some level of self-sustainability, as the world around us can be unpredictable at best. So far, I'm pleased to share that I've set up 51 people with the PrepperNerd inventory system. The feedback has been just fantastic. And the suggestions have helped us build even more valuable features, such as the barcode scanning feature, which we have now 137 common items available in the database for easily adding common food preps to your inventory. I'll be happy when we get to at least 1,000, but every new user that uses that feature is actually contributing to the database. So I'm hopeful we can get there in a matter of a couple months or so. We'll see. As you may already know, I consider this to be a love your neighbor project, and I'm referring to Matthew 22, 37 through 40. This is just a way that I can offer my time, money, and skills to benefit those around me that I care about. I feel like I've gained so much from the other YouTubers in the community like Alaska Prepper, Prepper Nation, Angry Prepper, Pinball Preparedness, Prepper Now, TJ Preps. The list just keeps going, but I'm so thankful and just feel compelled to give wherever I can. So that being said, I want to thank those of you who have contributed to my work on Patreon. This prep inventory system is free, but I do incur costs, and it takes me a lot of time to develop and get new users set up. So I really appreciate the gesture when people have the means to contribute. Recently, that includes Cynthia, Monica, Cowgirl, and Bella Donka. It tells me that you really do value what I'm doing, and like me, you want to contribute toward making this available to a lot more people. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. In addition, there have been a few people that have pledged their resources to help us build and maintain the new site over at freedomgathering.org. This is something that was spearheaded by Pinball Preparedness, as many of you know, and it received a lot of support very quickly among other YouTubers and the community. So in that first meeting of the minds, I dove in to starting to build out the site for the group. So, we have resources there on the site, like a flyer to help us spread the word, letters to mail to politicians and county commissioners to help all of you be vocal about our shared views. There's a list of, I think, approximately 45 pages of companies to be aware of their affiliations so that you can make sure that you're not funding the very companies that are trying to infringe upon our rights. And now there are new state-specific forums where people are starting to network and connect. So that's really great to see. And as you can imagine, all of this takes time and money, and which are basically all on my credit cards. So it's very reassuring and helpful when people contribute to the cause. I'd like to recognize north of the 52nd, Prepared Texan, Anna, Christy, Charlotte, and Linda. And I don't mention last names so that I can protect privacy, but you know who you are, and I just want to extend a big thank you to you. You're really helping to make the website possible, both now and in the future, because there are significant ongoing costs associated with it. So thank you so much. And if others would like to contribute, my Patreon link is below in the notes of this video. It's not required, but I certainly appreciate your support. On Patreon, there are tiers for the prep inventory system, as well as a tier to support freedomgathering.org. So I greatly appreciate your support. So with that said, let's get into the video. So today I wanted to call your attention to a few valuable resources that are available in the Prepper inventory system that you may have missed. So they're found in this helpful info section here in the lower right corner, the bottom of the right sidebar when viewing on a computer, or if you're viewing on a phone, they are all the way to the bottom of the page. So I just wanted to go over these resources that are available. They're kind of off to the side and out of the way, so maybe users have missed it, or I wanted to make sure that people that haven't yet gotten set up with this system are aware that these are available in case these are of interest to you and you want to dive into using the system. So the first one here, this helpful info, getting started link. Basically what this does is take you straight to the videos, the getting started playlist on YouTube that I recorded to help people get up and running quickly with the PrepperNerd system. The second link in the helpful info section here is the shelf life reference. So this is just the beginning of this resource. I want to make that clear. But you get the idea based on how this is laid out. This is meant to be a one-stop shop of information available to you to help you understand, how long you can expect things to last on the shelf or in storage. So you see here we have the food description. We have the storage method, because you might have, the same type of food stored in different ways may last, different amounts of time. Like for example, this one, the potato flakes, based on my research, this is what you can expect. Obviously the next column, shelf life, and then finally the comment section. Now, you may or may not agree with these, depending on how much experience you have in this area, and that's completely fine. And I welcome your input. Like I said, this is just the beginning of this resource. I'm sure there's a lot more we can add to this list. I'm sure of it, obviously. And there may be some areas where things need to be adjusted to make sure that we're communicating the right information. So what's kind of cool about this system, and I'm building this on something called Smartsheet. And what's cool about Smartsheet is for each of these records, we could potentially have a conversation. So if someone had an idea and said, you know what, salted butter in the freezer, it should last a lot longer than that. Well, we can just go in here and type, what your opinion is. This should last, and I'm down here in the lower right corner, 3+ years. Well, whatever your opinion on it is, and maybe you cite where you got that information, so that we can confirm that it's credible, for example. And then if you go ahead and send that, then you can see that now we have this comment icon highlighted. It indicates that there's been some one or more comments on this. I would be notified of this, so I could potentially take action on it to make the correction or whatever. And then there could potentially be back and forth conversation on that particular item and that particular storage method. So that can be pretty helpful. It's contextualized conversation about something very specific, so that we can make sure that the right information is getting out there. And like I said, this is meant to be a one-stop shop of this type of information in an online format, so that you can refer back to it whenever you want, wherever you want, basically on your cell phone, wherever you are. I mean, I'm sure that there's lots of information like this in books that are available, but no one wants to carry around all the books that they would need for reference information like this. So this is one of the resources. I just, I do have this disclaimer up at the top. I felt like it was important that I mention that, you use this information on your own accord. So even though I'm providing the information to you through the system, this is a collection of my research. It's not, me telling you what the right thing to do is, or telling you even what to do. It's a collection of research. So I wanted to make sure that you do your homework, and but this should reflect, hopefully over time, the best research and best information from the community that's using it. So you can also click here, this link, to suggest a new, suggest an edit or addition. So we can go in here, we can say, jasmine rice. I don't know, I'm just coming up with an example. Mylar in bucket. Shelf life should be 25 to 30 years, and whatever comment. And you can even click this checkbox to provide your email address, and it'll send you an email with a copy of how you responded to this. So I could submit this, and then And then that'll show up for me in this list. And then once I approve it, so you can see, you would only see the approved ones, but on the back end, you can see the status here. So, and then so this new one that I just submitted through the form, jasmine rice, mylar in a bucket, right? That comes in and I get notified of it, and then I can review it and either approve it or deny it. So that's kind of how that works. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and I'm going to go to the next, I'm going to go to the next resource here, recommended resources. So as we click into here, again, this is just the beginning of this. I mean, this system as a whole is practically brand new. It's been around for, for me for maybe 3 or 4 months, and been offered to the community for maybe a month now, if that. Maybe around a month. So anyway, so this is the idea. This is in the idea stage, basically. But you can see what I'm trying to do here is, again, offer a source of truth to the community, where the community can contribute your ideas of what things should belong here. But then ultimately, the community can refer to this information at any time with any device, right, online. Again, there's probably lots of books and information out there on paper. But if you want to look something up quickly, I'd like to have a lot of topics available to you here that you could refer to. So you can see the topic title. So like difference between bread flour and all-purpose flour, for example, and that goes to this link. How to make simple survival bread. This is actually a video that my daughter used to make homemade bread for the first time. She's 11 years old, and nobody in the household had ever made homemade bread, if you can believe that. So I was really proud of her, and it turned out amazing. So that's a really helpful YouTube link for those of you who would like to do that. A guide on oxygen absorbers and what to use for, what size container, for example. We'd have resources for home security topics or canning topics. Make red wine from grape juice. This was Pinball's topic in one of his YouTube videos that got a lot of interest in the community and so forth. I just added this one, the USDA Complete Guide to Home Canning. So I've got a link to that right there. And I added that one, just so happens that I just bought my first canner. So I'm going to be reviewing that quite a bit. And again, same thing here, suggestion, edit, or addition. So I can click that and it opens up a form. Same approach here. And once you submit that, then it'll be added and I can approve it. So I think that's pretty much it on this one. Again, there's commenting on a per row basis, for example. So that's an interesting way to have conversation around any of these particular topics potentially. And then I'm going to go back to the dashboard for the last link here in the helpful info section, recommended channels. So this is just a collection of content creators and mostly YouTube channels, except you can see a couple of them banned from YouTube. These are just people that I've followed over the course of the last few years or so, prepping more recently over the last year plus or so. So it's just it's a way. I'm sure that a lot of you already follow a lot of these people, but the idea here is that if we have a resource where we can show the different content creators that a prepper would be interested in, then especially for a new prepper, this would become invaluable for them because I think it's obvious, right? They'd be able to go through these links. They'd be able to watch videos from lots of these different content creators, and they'd be able to see who do they resonate with, right? Who speaks to them, who has the type of content that they're looking for. And you can see there's different primary categories here. For example, some people focus on current events, some people focus on prepping, some people focus on self-defense or farming, for example. So you can see that the channel name is here, the categories are here, the YouTube channel, there's a band.video platform I'm sure some of you are aware of, Patreon link, website, and notes. And again, this is just the beginning. It's just a resource. It's an idea at this point. I don't know that anybody's actually using these yet because frankly, I haven't talked about them at all. So, I wanted to make sure that you were aware of them, especially the users. And for those of you who aren't using the system, you could get access specifically to these resources if they would be helpful for you. And, I could set you up with that. So I think that is pretty much what I wanted to cover today. I wanted to also say that if you'd like to get set up with your own prep inventory system, you can go to PrepperNerd.com. The link is also going to be in the notes of this video down below, and you can sign up for the interest list. So once you're on the interest list, people are invited in groups so that I can make sure that I can set people up quickly and that you're well supported as you begin to use your inventory system. With that said, I just wanted to thank you for watching. Please do hit the thumbs up or thumbs down button to let YouTube know to show this video to more people, and subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to make sure that you're informed of future videos. So again, this is Mike, the Prepper Nerd, and I am